Hey guys, so I would decide to do a draw my life. I'm going to try to speed through it really fast, try to keep it interesting, try to keep it, funny and entertaining for you guys. So I hope you enjoy. So it all started on December 19th, 1987 when my mom was in labor and I popped out and I was just kind of like, hey, what's up? So I'll go ahead and take this time to introduce my family while she's holding me and admiring the new baby. So yeah, that's my mom and that's me, in case you guys don't know who me is. My name is Jennifer and that is my dad, and then this little guy over here is my brother, and he was usually pretty mopey, and I'll elaborate more on that later. So a few weeks after I was born, my mom and my brother was either driving to or from church, I can't remember, and all of a sudden, like, boom, they got hit by a car. It was a drunk driver and it was a pretty bad wreck. They thought that she was going to die because I think she was clinically dead. I don't know how long, I don't know if she actually flatlined, but she said that she saw an angel and a bright light and, the whole 9 yards, so. But she survived, she pulled through, and she had to wear a cast for a while, and she was really sad about that because, she couldn't hold me, and I was only, a few weeks old, so she was kind of depressed that other people had to take care of me when, she couldn't really hold me or, feed me or anything like that. But all was right in the world when she got her cast off, and we were, good and merry and happy and all that good stuff. So when I was a kid, I had this little bear that I carried around everywhere with me. Her name was Alice, and I took her everywhere with me. And she slept with me. I took her when we went to go eat somewhere. I was brushing my teeth. I mean, everywhere I went, this bear went with me. So one day I left her at my aunt and uncle's whenever we were visiting them, and I was so upset about it, and I wouldn't stop bawling until I got my bear back. So mom, this was at midnight, and mom was like, fine, I'll just go and get it. And she went all the way. They lived a half an hour away and brought her back to me, and I was so happy. So there was this one time that me and my brother kept singing the song 10 little monkeys jumping on the bed, one fell off and bumped his head. We sang that all day long. We were driving my mom nuts with that song, and we went home and we were jumping on the bed, and we just kept jumping on the bed, and then I fell off and I really cracked my head open, and they had to take me to the ambulance, and I had to or they had to take me to the hospital, and I had stitches. So when I said that my brother was really mopey and whiny about everything, well, he used to throw temper tantrums when he was little, and my parents would follow him around with the camera and take pictures of him until he stopped doing that. So we would go to the YMCA during the summer camps, and I was like, woohoo, yay! And then my brother, as always, didn't like participating in anything, and he hated the YMCA, so my mom had to come pick him up and take him home like he was a baby. And I would go swimming with the other kids, and I would make friends, and then for some reason I would lie about my name. I don't know why. They would come up to me and they'd be like, hey, what's your name? And I'd be like, hey, Ginger. And then another girl would ask me the same, and I'd be like, Brittany. And I have no idea why I would lie about my name. So they wouldn't hang out with me anymore, and I went and hung out with some other random kid, and that's pretty much what I did at the YMCA. My mom went to beauty school, so whenever I started kindergarten, I always wanted my teacher's haircuts for the first 3 years of school. It drove my mom nuts. She didn't understand why. They were these 40-year-old women with these 90s style haircuts, and I always wanted to look like them, and I was obsessed with getting glasses because I thought that glasses were cool. 8-year-old logic plus 90s style, yeah, it's not cool. So my mom pulled us out of public school and started homeschooling us, and I absolutely loved it. I was like, woohoo, homeschool. And then my brother, of course, was like, oh my god, I hate homeschooling. Wah. So one summer we were really close to my cousins, and they came over and stayed the night, and we pulled a prank on my cousin Chris, who fell asleep first. We whipped creamed him and videotaped it, and he got really angry, and we thought that that was hilarious. So the only family reunion that we ever had, we had this really steep hill in the back of our yard, and we had this little kid picnic table, and me and my cousin Kalina were sitting on one side, and all three boys were sitting on the other. And as soon as they got up, the picnic table tumbled all over us and got food all over us. It was really disgusting. So when my mom graduated beauty school, she opened up her own salon and they called it Blue Lagoon, and it's not like the movie. It was a salon, but they probably would have made more money had it been a bar. So there is this treehouse out back, and I used to go there with this boy. He was like my first love and my first kiss, and he like broke my heart. And I was like so ridiculously dramatic over the entire ordeal, and I was like, oh my god, why did he break my heart? And so I became kind of an angry girl, and I changed my hair, and I went all gothic and rocker looking. So we decided to sell the house, and we moved a whopping 45 minutes across the Ohio River over to the other side. And I started public school again, and I spiked up my hair, and I had this whole new look, and all the kids would look at me like I was some sort of weirdo, as I had like blue hair and spiky hair. Hardly any of the girls would talk to me, but they would like copy my looks, and the boys would like make fun of my boobs and tell me that I would like stuff my bras. And I would have this thing where I would pierce my nails and hang a charm off of it. And I went the very next day, and this other girl like bought a fake nail with a charm on it. And I was like, why? Why are these girls like not even talking to me, but they're like copying me? And my mom was like, oh, just be flattered that you're a trendsetter. They're just jealous. So that made me feel a little bit better. And I finally got like a couple of friends. Leanna and Jessica, they were like my best friends all through high school. You know, I probably still consider them my best friends, you know, if we ever hung out. So one random day in 8th grade, we were sitting in class and we were watching this Civil War reenactment. And I was feeling really sick because there was blood, and I passed out, and I flipped over my desk and my feet were hanging in the air, and all the boys were laughing at me. And all I could hear when I first woke up was a bunch of laughter. So this was about the same time that my parents started really fighting with each other, and they ended up getting divorced. And my brother ended up living with my dad for a while, and I lived with my mom for a while. And she got remarried to this like trucker redneck looking dude, and one 4th of July he put his fist through our car window, but nobody was inside, so nobody got hurt. We were just kind of like really freaked out over it. So yeah, they split after that. So my mom dated some random guys, you know, here and there, and she got married to this like really hardcore ex-military. He was a jerk, and she moved in with this family, and we had a really hard time with our relationship through high school, and it was pretty rough. If it wasn't for, you know, some of my really good friends, you know, I stayed the night with her, you know, them a lot, and you know. So I went and saw Pirates of the Caribbean when it first came out, and this was kind of like my inspiration. And you know, I totally fell in love with the movie, and I fell in love with the whole idea of acting in theater, and I joined Color Guard. And this is the kind of stuff that I did, you know, to kind of get my mind off of, you know, kind of how rough it was at home. And I finally graduated, and after that I started partying pretty hardcore. I drank like all the time, partied like 2, 3, 4 times a week, and finally I was trying to contemplate, you know, what to do about college. I can't afford to go to a good college. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Living in an area like this, you know, you don't really have many options when it comes to things like arts and theater. I tried to take a whack at tattooing, and I just hated it. So I kind of ended up with the typical job that a lot of people end up with here, and that is fast food. And that is actually where I met, the guy that got me pregnant. And he left, and I was sad for like a week, and then I got over it. And whenever he left, he actually left. I came home from work, all of his stuff was gone, and I came home with a note saying, I just can't handle this anymore, blah, 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 blah. And he called me 2 weeks later when he found out that I got pregnant, and he was just like, hey, get an abortion. And I was just like, just stay away from me, just go away. Right about the same time, my mom actually split from her marriage of the guy that I really didn't like, and all was perfect in the world. Well, not perfect, but, you know, close enough. And she got remarried, but this guy's really cool and doesn't try to get in between us. So I had my little girl, but then I suffered from insomnia. I was in a deep depression. I had to drop out of school because I was having issues with my car, so I actually got expunged. And I was just like having really a lot of doubts. Like I didn't think I would ever succeed. So one night I was just surfing online and I was looking up stuff on YouTube, and I found a video by Candy Johnson, and it was just like light bulb moment, and I became totally obsessed with makeup, and she was like totally my inspiration, and I just wanted to do what she does. Like I just wanted that to be my life. And I did a few videos, but I was having a really hard time juggling work, being a single mom, and, you know, stressing over money. And then I met Bobby, and he was in college, and I worked at JCPenney's, but then I got to quit my job whenever he graduated, and I got to be a stay-at-home mom. So now I do YouTube, and I started uploading videos, and a year later I brought on Stacy, and you know, our subscribers just started going up and up and up and up. It was made it a lot easier to work with somebody else. All of that happened within 2 months. You know, big names like Top Floor and Style Hall has contacted us and wanted us to work with them, and you know, the money isn't like big right now, but you know, but that's okay, because I started from nothing and we are slowly growing and we're getting successful, and I finally feel like I'm just starting to get successful in something that I love to do, and I'm finally happy. And I'm with somebody who takes care of my daughter with me, and he makes a really good dad, and you know, she deserves that. So if anything, if you got anything from this video, I hope that you learned that you should be yourself, don't ever give up, and just because you live in, you know, if you happen to live in like a really crappy part of the country where you don't, you know, have many options, you know, don't settle for anything less. I mean, don't let that be a reason for you not to go and do something that you want to do. So hopefully I'll end up in Hollywood doing, you know, big time makeup or something on a movie set someday. But I'll take what I can get for now, and I'm having a lot of fun with this. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.